Hi, I'm Bumblebee and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be stitching these daisies on the back of our jeans. We are going to find the perfect placement for these daisies on the back of our jeans. If it doesn't fit perfectly for your type of jeans, you can trim it or you can cut these out and place them and arrange them on the jeans how it'll work better for you. You could just cut them into little sections to make it work for your jeans. We are going to peel the back off our stick and stitch, which can be a little tricky to grab that edge. You just want to find an edge and peel away the back to your stick and stitch and place it onto your jeans where you want to do your flowers. We are going to start with the center of our flowers. So we are going to grab our yellow embroidery floss. The floss is made up of 6 individual strands. We are going to use 2 strands of floss. So we want to separate that from the 6. You're going to want to separate them one at a time. If you try to grab 2 and pull it, it can get tangled, it can get knotted up. So we're going to do one at a time and separate our embroidery floss. I'm going to show you 2 ways to thread your needle for embroidery. I have my 2 strands. I thread the needle. I have this little tail on one side and the rest of the thread on the other side. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, making sure they're even, and knot it from here. Alternatively, if you're finding that you are dropping the thread, you can just make a loop and a knot. So you would take the tail and pull it all the way down till it's even, and then make a knot. So then you're going to have a loop and you're not going to be able to drop your thread when you're stitching. You're going to start by coming up from underneath, right on the edge of the center of your flower. You're going to make sure you pull it all the way until you feel it tight with the knot. And you're going to reinsert your needle at the opposite edge of the center of the flower to make a nice straight stitch in the middle. Basically, we are going to be doing a satin stitch in the middle. So you are going to do the same thing on either side of that middle stitch you made, bringing it up from underneath and bringing it right next to the stitch that you already did until you feel like the center of your flower is completely filled in. Now that we've done one center of the flower, you have the option, you can knot it off in the back or you can move on to the center of another flower. This is what the back will look like if you move from center of center the flower. If you don't like how this looks or you feel like it's going to get caught on something, then you can just knot or tie off on the back after every center. So this one, I did the center of the flower, I finished it, and I'm just going to do a knot on the back by twisting the thread around my needle, placing my thumb right there at the base so I get the knot as close to the stitching as possible, and pulling it, and it made a tiny little knot. I'm going to do a second knot just for fun, just for good measure, and then you guys can see how I do that knot really easily with my needle. And then I will just snip the excess away. Now I'm going to start on the petals to the flower, so I'm going to grab the white embroidery floss. I want the thickness to be 4 strands, so I'm going to take out 2 strands of the embroidery floss one by one so we don't get any tangles. I'm going to thread my needle by doubling it up, so when you pull the thread all the way through and knot it at the bottom like a loop, you end up doubling up the thread. So I used 2 strands and knotted by looping it, so the 2 strands became 4 strands. We are going to start embroidering by starting on the underside, pulling up our needle at the tip of one of the petals and reinserting it back at the edge of the center of the flower. We're going to go all around the flower doing this, starting at the tip of the petal, making sure you're pulling all the way through, reinserting at the edge of the center of the flower. Finished all your stitching, it is time to rinse off the stick and stitch. It comes off super easy in water, so you don't have to worry about it staying on your jeans. It rinses out very easily. Wow, the jeans turned out amazing. Thank you for stitching along with me, and I hope your jeans turned out amazing too. Feel free to message me on Instagram if you have any questions. I am Bumblebee Stitches on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Thanks.